there are some encounters we were never meant to capture. Today's episode has creepy humanoids, terrifying moments, and strange creatures no one can explain. Humans were never meant to witness what happened in these videos. A man from Medellin, Colombia, was live streaming on Twitch when he decided to do his usual bit for his fans, putting on the duck face mask. But things took a terrifying turn just as he removed the mask from a mannequin. As he sat there, the mannequin slowly moved toward him. The streamer caught it on camera, and his shocked reaction is unmistakable. He looked back in fear. The mannequin had clearly moved on its own. The clip quickly went viral, leaving viewers as unsettled as he was. Zombie crow. In downtown Austin, Texas, a local captured something disturbing in a parking lot during daylight. A crow moved oddly, stumbling and jerking as if controlled by something unseen. Its feathers were matted, and one eye appeared ghostly white. Experts suggest parasites or brain-altering infections can cause such behavior, making birds act after their minds are no longer in control. The sight sparked concern about whether such infections could exist in other species, hinting at darker forces quietly at work in the natural world. Strange humanoid. The following video has its critics because it's too strange. It shows a horrifying creature lying on a messy floor. The head looks like that of a man, but the rest of its appearance is far from human. Instead of having legs below the torso, the entire being is covered in multiple arms. The arms move in sync like the legs of a spider. The sight is so disturbing that viewers are unsure what to believe. Many viewers think it's digitally altered, but some of them do believe that it might be the result of some unknown mutation. What do you believe? Creature's autopsy. A man ordering dinner at a small restaurant in Portland, Oregon, peeked through the kitchen window and froze. Resting on the counter was a massive, pale hand with long claws, hairless and impossibly large. The footage quickly went viral, with viewers speculating it could belong to a Bigfoot or other unknown creature. Authorities were called in, though no creature was found. The mysterious hand remains unexplained, leaving locals uneasy about what could be hiding nearby. Levitating artist. In a village near Guilin, China, locals gathered to watch an old man do something that didn't seem possible. He was painting a massive mural of a warrior on the side of a tall building, but what caught everyone's attention was how he was doing it. The man appeared to be standing high above the ground, calmly brushing colors onto the wall with no ladder, no rope, and nothing supporting him. The crowd filmed in disbelief, thinking they were witnessing real magic. When the video spread online, many speculated about hidden powers or ancient techniques, until someone finally visited the site. That's when they discovered the truth. The man had painted part of the mural to blend perfectly with the background, creating the illusion that he was floating in midair. Even after the explanation, many villagers chose to believe something mystical was at work. Monster roach. In Bangkok, Thailand, a man recorded a frightening encounter inside his home. A giant cockroach, far larger than any ordinary insect, clung to his wall. When he tried to scare it with a broom, the cockroach leapt straight at him. The footage ended abruptly, leaving viewers unsure of the man's fate. Its size and behavior were so unnatural that some wondered if it was truly an insect or something far stranger disguised as one. Ocean monster. Off the coast of Monterey Bay, California, a fisherman experienced a chilling encounter while pulling in his net. Among the usual seaweed, he found a pinkish-red, rubbery worm moving unnaturally. Identified as a Gorgonorhynchus, the creature is small but deadly. When threatened or hunting, it shoots out sticky, tentacle-like webs capable of trapping prey. This tiny ocean predator demonstrates that some of the sea's most terrifying creatures are hidden in plain sight, proving that the ocean still harbors secrets that can shock even the most experienced fishermen. Panama alien. In Panama City, a group of explorers entered an old, partially flooded building, hoping to document its eerie interior. As they moved through the shadows, they noticed a hairy, amorphous beast gliding across the water's surface. The creature began swirling in tight circles, forming a small whirlpool. To the explorer's shock, a portion of its body separated, appearing almost like a second creature, only to merge back moments later. It shifted shape repeatedly, flowing and stretching like liquid while maintaining a strange, almost intelligent motion. Eventually, the entity drifted toward a dark hallway, disappearing from view. We've previously shown the shocking truth behind this alien parasite in our earlier video, so go check that one out. Siren sighting. On October 20th, 2025, near Palermo, Sicily, Italy, a group of fishermen were hauling in their nets when an ordinary day quickly turned into something surreal. Among the usual catches, a normal-looking snapper suddenly disappeared as a large humanoid creature leapt from the water. The figure moved with impossible speed, narrowly missing the stunned fisherman. It had long blonde hair, a green-scaled lower body like a fish, and a dark-skinned, feminine upper body with webbed hands and dark eyes. The description eerily matched legends of sirens. The creature snatched the fish from the net and returned to the depths, leaving the fishermen shaken and questioning whether they had just witnessed a myth come to life. Vile fruit. A woman shared this video on Instagram and said she'd bought bananas from a new store near her house. The next morning, she woke up to her dog barking loudly. When she went to the kitchen, she found out what was making the dog so agitated. Something was terribly wrong with one of the bananas. Creepy, meaty tentacles were writhing out, as if a parasitic creature had eaten through the fruit, and was now crawling out of its host. The sight was too disturbing, but the woman never gave any update, leaving people unsure if it was real or a hoax. Creepy humanoid. The video was strange and extremely chilling. It was recorded by an unknown person earlier this month in Manchester, England. The clip showed a pale figure standing in the dark, something that looked human, but not quite. It had eyes, a nose, a mouth, all the right features, but they didn't fit together like they should. Its skin looked almost empty, like there was no liquid inside its body. The eyes were sunk deep into its head, dark and lifeless, and the mouth, it was twisted, filled with uneven, inhuman teeth, and then its neck. That was one of the parts about the video that unnerved most viewers. It had zero muscles there, just thin skin stretched over bone. Since the video has no information, it makes it more mysterious. No one knows who filmed it or where it was actually recorded. Pulsating anomaly. Here's one of the most disturbing clips that's going viral. It was uploaded by an anonymous source, and it shows a banana being peeled by someone. But something was very wrong with it. The fruit was pulsating, as if it had a heartbeat. What's even more shocking is that it seemed to crawl slowly, like a worm. The video crossed more than 1 million views as people rushed to give their theories, saying it could be a parasite hidden in the fruit, or even a secret lab experiment. But without a proper source of information, the mystery remains unsolved. Mysterious entity. After a sudden rainstorm in the central market of Pune, India, a resident recorded something unusual in the air. A dark, floating shape appeared above the crowded stalls, moving unnaturally before vanishing. Witnesses claimed it wasn't debris or cloth, but a malevolent entity believed to appear after storms and prey on wandering souls. Since then, locals have avoided the market during heavy rain, fearing the spirit might return. Strange rock. When a fisherman pulled a strange-looking rock from Lake Charlevoix, Michigan, it just looked like another stone, nothing special. But once he brought it home, things got weird. When he dropped it in a mug, the water instantly started to boil, even though it wasn't hot. A clock nearby began spinning like crazy before freezing completely the moment he lifted the rock away. Then, when he held it near a light bulb, the light went out. Scientists later tested it, but none could identify what it was made of. off. A few even hinted it might not be from Earth at all. Maybe a piece of alien tech that landed in Michigan some time ago. What do you think? Is that possible? Human with powers? A restaurant owner captured something that seemed impossible, a piece of paper hovering and dancing above a man's hands. The footage left viewers stunned, imagining some real-life magic at work. As the camera focused, it became clear the movement was controlled, the paper responding to subtle motions from the man. It appeared like a scene from a wizarding world, with the paper spinning, rising, and floating around. Someone tried to debunk it by saying it was due to static created after rubbing paper with a porcelain object, but that doesn't seem to be true here. Female Nephilims. A video has been circulating online claiming to show Syrian aliens being given full access to the Kremlin. According to the posts, these extraterrestrials were freely walking through the halls, sparking curiosity and panic among viewers. The supposed aliens were described as tall, more than 12 feet in height, extremely skinny, and purple in color, making them look otherworldly and terrifying. However, this turned out to be completely false. The aliens in the footage are not real extraterrestrials, but performers from a circus show. The clip actually comes from a Russian TV segment about a new show called UFO, Circus from Another Planet. The performers, sisters Tamara and Lyudmila Tichenko, are both over 2 meters tall and wear elaborate alien costumes. Even though the video circulating online is low quality and its original source is unclear, it's easy to see that the Syrians are identical to the circus performers in costume. This is a classic example of how misleading footage can create viral myths about aliens and secret government access. Shocking video.
It's a centipede.
On the 24th of July, 2025, visitors at the Grand Canyon captured shocking footage of a massive centipede taking down a bat. Spectators were stunned as the scene unfolded right before their eyes. The footage is raw, uncut, and real. Take a look and let me know what you think about this wild encounter.
Yeah. That's a good sized bat. Look at it.
Ghost on camera.
We've got a thermal camera, so this should detect it.
During a regular thermal camera test, something unbelievable showed up. The woman sitting in the chair glows white hot on screen. Pure body heat. Then something strange happened. A dark, cold cloud slides into frame, wrapping around her neck. The dark cloud that comes in around her neck is a very dark blue, because it is an extreme cold spot. That black entity was a ghost. Since she and other people have said wherever they see a ghost or evil energy, that area gets extremely cold. If this footage is real, it's more than eerie. It's one of the clearest captures of the paranormal.
The other one's just like a GoPro.
Creepy critter. In the Amazon rainforest, a photographer captured a mysterious creature that was quite strange to look at. With bright green-blue skin, its skin was so clear that you could see its bones and even its organs. This incredible but creepy critter is unknown, and it looked like it was wrapped in a slippery, gel-like coat. Since it was in the photographer's hand, it was already trying to create its nest. If any of you knows what type of insect this is, kindly mention in the comments below. Creepy creatures. On the morning of June 12th, 2025, along the shores of Galveston Beach in Texas, fishermen noticed something unusual. The sand was covered with thousands of tiny, tube-like objects arranged in dense clusters. The mass stranding was likely caused by recent strong tides and an unusual storm surge in the Gulf of Mexico, which pushed the worms onto the shore and exposed their strange structures. Marine biologists identified these as the homes of Pomatoceros lamarcki, commonly known as ice cream cone worms. These worms bury themselves headfirst in sand and build cone-shaped tubes, with feathery tentacles extending to filter microscopic food particles from the water. Alien insect?
Found this outside of the town.
During a forest walk in Hocking Hills, Ohio, a villager noticed dozens of strange, jelly-like organisms crawling along moss-covered branches. The creatures twisted in neon shades of yellow, green, and translucent white. A villager captured the scene on video, and it quickly spread online, with viewers calling them alien worms. Experts later identified them as cocoons from the slug moth family. Their bright colors are not for show. They act as a warning to predators.
It's like some weird alien bug.
Squirting tree. Near Ashland, Oregon, wildlife experts documented an unusual phenomenon in the forest. A tree, nicknamed the weeping tree by locals, continuously leaked a thick, brown liquid from one side of its trunk. The flow was strong enough to saturate the soil below, creating mud. Residents speculated about trapped spirits or supernatural forces, while officials suggested internal rot or hidden pressure might be responsible. Despite scientific theories, no one has fully explained why the liquid pours endlessly, leaving a lingering sense of unease in the area. Alien slime rock.
Puedo sacar pedazos.
Near David, Cherokee Province, Panama, a local man claimed to have discovered a strange rock he thought had fallen from the sky. When he brought it home, the cracked surface began to ooze a black, slime-like organism. It pulsed and twisted across the table, appearing alive and spreading like a living shadow. The man described it as something out of a comic book, growing on its own. Scientists have yet to confirm its nature, leaving open the possibility that the rock carried an unknown life form, one quietly learning to survive on Earth. We have more details on this later on, so keep watching. Floating lights. While driving along a rural road near Manaus, Amazonas, Brazil, a motorist captured a strange event on camera. Through the downpour, 4 glowing lights appeared above the car, moving in perfect synchronization. Minutes later, they reappeared on the same stretch of road, hovering silently just ahead. Rain seemed to bounce off the lights as if encountering an invisible barrier. There were no streetlights or other vehicles nearby, making this incident something otherworldly experience. Living pteranodon? In a remote area outside Cusco, Peru, travelers filmed a massive winged creature gliding silently in the evening sky. Its form didn't match any known bird species. Researchers compared the footage to illustrations of pteranodons from the Cretaceous period and were shocked by the similarity. The possibility that a prehistoric species might still exist today is staggering, leaving scientists and viewers alike questioning what traces of Earth's ancient world could still survive, hidden from human eyes. Glitching rainfall. In Valencia, Spain, locals witnessed an unusual sight, rain falling in an area barely a meter wide, while the surrounding street remained completely dry. People standing under it described the moment as surreal, almost like a sign from above. Scientists later explained it as a rare meteorological event called micro-rain, where precipitation occurs in one small spot, while the air around it stays clear. For those who experienced it, the brief isolated shower felt oddly intentional, as if nature had singled them out for a fleeting, mysterious moment. Ghost playing with hair. During a night shift in a hospital, a female doctor working alone noticed something strange. Her hair began to lift slowly, strand by strand, without any fans, wind, or open windows nearby. The strands hovered as if held by invisible fingers, leaving her tense and frozen. She couldn't tell if it was merely static electricity or something unseen, silently watching her from the shadows. Terrifying creature. Late one evening near the Gold Coast, Australia, a group of friends walking through a quiet area spotted a massive, stick-like insect resting on the road. At first, it looked like a normal stick insect, but its size and posture were unusual. When they lifted it, its long, thin legs unfolded, revealing enormous wings. Experts later identified it as Acrophila titan, one of the largest stick insects in the world, though the encounter still felt like an otherworldly discovery to those who saw it firsthand. Rare buffalo. A strange video circulating online shows a buffalo calmly grazing in a grassy field near Surabaya, Indonesia. What caught viewers' attention immediately were its horns, perfectly curled in a complete circle around its head, forming a flawless loop rather than growing upward or sideways. Experts suggest it could be a rare genetic mutation, while locals whisper about folklore creatures. Regardless of the explanation, this unusual buffalo has left a lasting impression on everyone who saw the footage. Winged frog. Near a pond in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, a man spotted a small amphibian approaching the water's edge. Thinking it was an ordinary frog, he picked it up, only to find thin, delicate wings stretching from its back, resembling a combination of bat and fish fins. Scientists have yet to explain how such a creature could exist, leaving locals to wonder whether it was a rare mutation or an experiment gone wrong. Either way, a frog with wings remains a sight that defies logic and expectation. Giant jellyfish stranded. On a beach in Wakayama, Japan, visitors discovered a massive creature washed ashore. At first, it seemed like a giant jellyfish, but closer inspection revealed it was alive and moving. Its sheer size made it appear almost alien, unlike anything people normally encounter at the shore. Beach authorities later identified it as an enormous squid and returned it safely to the ocean. Even so, those who witnessed it that night described the encounter as surreal, an unforgettable glimpse of nature's strangeness. Mysterious phenomenon. While crossing the Taklamakan Desert in China, a traveler spotted something strange. The sand ahead was bubbling, like water boiling over a stove. Thinking it was just a heat illusion, he leaned closer and held a matchstick above it. Then this happened. To test it, he trapped some of the gas in a bottle and a plastic bag, both filling up within seconds. Whatever was seeping from beneath the sand was clearly flammable. Weeks later, another clip appeared online showing the same bubbling sand near a beach in Shandong province, proving this wasn't a one-time event. Experts believe it could be a natural gas pocket leaking to the surface. Blazing tree. Near Hot Springs, Arkansas, USA, a resident observed a tree glowing from within hours after a violent lightning storm. Smoke rose from cracks in the bark as fire seemed to erupt inside. The man captured the scene on video, describing it as eerily destructive. Firefighters explained that lightning had superheated water inside the trunk, creating steam pressure that caused the tree to split and burn from within. What appeared ordinary became a haunting reminder that nature can hide its destructive power until it chooses to reveal it. Mystery liquid. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, a resident walking along a quiet street noticed bright blue liquid bubbling up through a crack in the sidewalk. At first, it looked unnatural, like something toxic seeping from underground, or the blue blood of a hidden machine. Locals were alarmed, filming the strange flow. Investigation later revealed it wasn't a natural leakage. The liquid was tracing dye used by city workers to detect underground water leaks. What appeared mysterious was actually routine maintenance, though it had startled anyone passing by. Alien origins. This is where it all began. If you haven't seen our video, Panama alien situation just got worse. Here's what you need to know to understand how deep this mystery goes. A TikTok user from Panama claimed that a meteorite had crashed right into his backyard, but what followed was far more disturbing. From the cracked surface of the rock, a dark, slimy organism began to grow. It pulsed and stretched, spreading across the soil like living tar, and carried a sharp, chemical smell that burned the air. Viewers compared it to venom because of its strange, fluid movements and eerie resemblance to something alive. When the man reached out to local universities, they reportedly refused to examine it, calling his claim unverified. Now, with more sightings connecting back to this incident, many believe there was some truth to it, but we have shown a lot in that video of ours. Aegean mythical creature.
Dolphin? There's a girl in the water. What the is that?
This shocking footage was reportedly filmed by fishermen near the Aegean waters in the Mediterranean Sea. On October 23, 2025, they noticed a strange figure in the distance, so they carefully approached in their wooden boat. The shape was unlike anything they had ever seen. The tail was massive, like a whale's, but the upper half looked human. The creature revealed 2 arms, long black hair, and a pale, feminine face. For a brief moment, it turned toward them, locking eyes before quickly disappearing beneath the sea. Just 30 minutes later, the fishermen pulled up their nets and froze. Inside was the same creature, but closer inspection showed it wasn't pale. It had a bluish skin tone. This version looked even more like a siren. Her wide eyes stared blankly, her nose was narrow slits, and she had no eyebrows, making her expression haunting. She tried to escape, clearly agitated by being out of water. There's no update on what happened next. It's unknown whether the fishermen brought her back, or if she somehow returned to the sea.
We're not gonna hurt you here. Net's slipping. Pull it in.
Moving blob. A user posted a video showing a glass bottle filled with water. Inside, a thick black liquid floated, moving strangely on its own. At first, it seemed like a trick, but soon the liquid began twisting and forming sharp, almost eerie shapes. When a strong magnet was held near the bottle, the liquid reacted dramatically, stretching, crawling, and following every movement. Despite knowing it was ferrofluid, the way it moved still looked mesmerizing for a lot of viewers. Magnetic slime. A lab assistant recorded a thick, black liquid that looked like slime on a table. At first, it didn't move, but when he brought a magnetic ring close, it sprang to life, stretching and crawling toward the magnet. He tested it further by cutting the liquid in half, only to see the pieces snap back together immediately. The strange behavior continued as the assistant experimented, the liquid seemingly obeying invisible forces. The footage shocked everyone watching. Devil creature. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, a team of wildlife experts thought they had spotted an ordinary insect crawling among the leaves. As one expert stepped closer, the bug suddenly rose onto its hind legs, spreading enormous front claws like a shield. The mantis's sudden, aggressive display shocked everyone, making it look far larger and more terrifying than before. This was the devil's flower mantis, performing a diamatic display designed to scare predators. After the initial scare, it slowly lowered its claws and blended back into the foliage. It's time for today's subscribers' pick of the day. They were just testing out a Necrometer app. Nothing serious, just trying to see if any spirits would respond. For a while, it wasn't that serious, random words popping up here and there, but then the tone changed. The app started forming full sentences. Do not walk away. Do not approach. And then one chilling word, witch. Kay's suddenly went still. Her whole face shifted like something else had taken over. Her dad tried to snap her out of it, but the second he touched her, which was a huge mistake.
Hayes? Hayes! Hayes!
He froze too. It was like whatever had control of Kay's had just jumped straight into him. Kay snapped out of her trance and tried to get through to her dad, but his expression turned cold. Then, out of nowhere, he yelled at her, "Get out!" The force of it was so strong that Kay's actually fell off her stool.
Dad?
Moments later, her dad blinked and came back to himself, completely confused about what had just happened. They sat there, stunned, trying to process everything.
I can't remember. Got a headache again. Oh, let's stop.
And then the app showed one last message, a single word on screen, portal.